Ah, what's up with it?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good, good, good.
Just chilling?
See you, man.
Wait, 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 wait. Well, let's tell where the Boulevard at.
What's up with it, guys? I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm lonely as fuck. But I can't do nothing about that, right? Oh man, it feels good to be in the bed with a woman, snuggling, kissing and hugging. I haven't had that in a long time, man. Some of you guys don't even know you forgot about me, right? You forgot about how I've been out here, without a girlfriend for the last 8 years. That's a long time to be without somebody, especially when you're used to having women in your life and it just gets taken from you, just like that. When I was in my 20s, I had women in my life, bro. I had girlfriends. I had sex on the regular. You feel what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I was able to get a girlfriend easier. But now all this goddamn internet bullshit, it's a lot harder to get a girlfriend nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Even for a guy that's decent looking like me, it's still hard. It ain't never been this hard before. It's a lot harder to get sex nowadays as a man, bro. It ain't easy like it used to be. Back in the day, man, it was easier, man. Shit. Get a woman just like that. Get sex just like that. Back in 2004. That was my year, bro. I was fucking with Gwen. And for some of you guys who don't know who Gwen is a female that I pulled that was like, she was of my liking, you know what I'm saying? She had titties, she had ass, she had a face, feel what I'm saying? But she was a single mother, but she had everything that you could dream of. Titties, ass, face. She was at least a 6 or a 7 in the face. This is back when I was 24. And she was 32 at the time. And I had sex with her so many times, man, I forgot to count, bro. But then some Chad Rome came around and took her away. You feel what I'm saying? Some Chad Rome motherfucker. You feel me? It was competitive back then. Even when I was 24, about 2004, 2005, it was competitive back then. Now it's even more competitive with this internet, bro. It all started with the internet. It all started with, you know, it all started with the iPhone, bro. 2012, it was a wrap for dating. They didn't make it easier for men to date. They made it harder for men to date. But the thing is, they made it harder for the top elites, the top 20% of men. That's who they made it easier for. You feel what I'm saying? They made it easier for them. You feel what I'm saying? You know, it was hard, man. Back in the day, bro. You feel me? You know. Whew. You know? It was a lot easier, man. And now they done made it more difficult nowadays, man. You know. So if you don't think I'm lonely, bro, of course I am. What, you think I'm a robot or something like that? You think I don't have any feelings? I don't feel loneliness, bro? I do. And I don't want to settle with just any old woman. Some of you guys, talking about, your standards are too high, man. Your standards are too high. I'm like, what's wrong with having an average woman with some nice titties and ass? It's like, I'm not asking for a dime piece. I'm looking for my face match with some titties and ass. And I can't find that shit out here, bro. These women walk around like they shit don't stink out here, bro. And all the simping and stuff like that, that added to the destruction of dating, bro. It's the simps. You feel what I'm saying? You know, it'll never go back to the way it used to be, man. Dating used to be off the Richter, man. It was like you could get a woman so easily, man, before the internet. And then, you know, it all started with you feel me? It all started with Facebook, really. That's where it started. But Facebook didn't really ruin dating. Okay. It's when they brought the iPhone out and then they had the dating apps like Tinder and Bumble. And that's where the problems really started, right there. When Tinder came out and Bumble. You feel what I'm saying? So, if you don't think that I'm lonely, bro, of course I am. Of course. I wish I had a woman to go home to. Today I was sitting there, I was angry today. And I was frustrated because I look at people and I see them, or I see other men, out here just having girlfriends or wives to go home to when I don't have the same thing. It got me kind of mad, really. For some reason, I don't know. Today it kind of bothered me a little bit to be by myself when you got a guy out here, that got a girlfriend or a wife to go home to, a girlfriend or a wife to have sex with when he get to his house. I kind of started feeling envious and I started getting pissed off, for real. I ain't gonna lie, yeah, I was envious of a motherfucker who got a woman that he could go home to, a home cooked meal to go home to. I have that, and I haven't had that in years. It's kind of pissing me off, man. I can't do nothing about it. And I can't do nothing about it. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, shit. I'm gonna sit down. Oh. Yeah, that's my last beer for tonight. I'm going back to like hard alcohol, man, because the beer is making me gain weight. And I'm going right back to hard alcohol, bro. So I'm gonna switch back over, man, because I see the weight creeping up on me. And I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna leave the beer alone. We're gonna switch over to the hard alcohol. You feel what I'm saying? Because I can't be gaining weight. You feel what I'm saying? And if I keep on drinking beer, I'm gonna get bigger and bigger. So, no, I'm good. I'm good off the beer. So tomorrow, not tomorrow, but I say Saturday, I'm gonna be on the hard alcohol again. Yeah, that's right. 'Cause I can't be putting on no weight. You feel me? The hard alcohol kept me lean, bro. It was easier to shake off in a workout. But beer, I've been on beer for the last like week or two, man, and I'm good. I'm going back to hard alcohol. I don't care what nobody say. You feel me? Anyway, so I'm back. So it's like, look, you don't think I have emotions, bro? I do. I've been out here wanting a woman for a very long time. I've been out here without a woman for 8 years. I'm talking about a serious relationship. I ain't talking about sex. Last time I had sex was 2 years ago. You feel what I'm saying? You feel me? What time is it? Yeah, we gotta go to sleep in about an hour. What's up with it? G9W, what's up with it, boy? Hell yeah, we're getting that bag, man. We're chasing the bag. My thing is, man, just don't be in your situation forever. My thing is to make sure you dig yourself out slowly but surely. Don't be in the situation that you're in forever. You got Heat and Succeed. That nigga gonna be in that situation forever, man. He gonna go crazy because think about all the years he's going without a girlfriend. All the years he's going without love and companionship. All them years it's driving him nuts. It's driving him crazy, bro, to go all them years without love and companionship. He going crazy, bro. He's going crazy out here in these streets, bro. You feel what I'm saying? We wasn't built to be without women, bro. Whether you like it or not, or whether you believe it or not, we wasn't built to be without women. You were built to be with a woman. That's why you see a nigga like Heathen Secede going crazy. Because he ain't had a woman since the woman had him. Shit. So he's isolated, he's losing his mind. That's what happens when you've been without a woman for many years. You start losing things, like common sense. I guarantee if he got with a woman right now, bro, all that delusional talk that he doing on YouTube right now, it would go away. He'd be like, what? The spiritual realm or the realm or the what? He'd be like, I don't know what I was talking about, guys. I just got me some pussy. I just got me some good loving. I don't know what I was talking about. Yeah, so this is my last day of drinking beer. I had 2 beers just now. And you wonder why Killcat is crying when I see the Titanic. When I watch the Titanic, you wonder why I'm crying. Why? Because I ain't had a love in a long time, man. I ain't had no love in a long time. Killcat, man, don't be crying out here. But that's how I deal with my isolation. I don't talk crazy like Heathen Secede, bro. I look at like movies, I look at like romance movies and shit, like Poetic Justice and the Titanic. The other night I was watching Poetic Justice with Tupac and Janet Jackson, man. You know what I'm saying? And then I bumped Janet Jackson music at the end, You feel me? Cause I ain't had it in a long time, guys. I've been out here by myself, chasing the bag, and after a while you become a robot. Your feelings are done for. You ain't had that Poetic Justice or Titanic love in a long time, and you miss it so bad, and you can't do nothing about it. But like I said, I'm going back to hard alcohol. I don't care. You feel me? I'm going back to hard alcohol again, bro. This beer is putting pounds on my face. Look, my face is already putting on pounds. No, I'm good. Going back to hard alcohol, man. Starting Saturday, not tomorrow, but Saturday, or maybe Sunday. We're gonna take a few days off of drinking, but no, I can't be putting on no pounds, bro. That's one thing I don't want to do. But yeah, I'm lonely. I've been lonely for a long time, man. I handle my loneliness differently from a lot of people, man. Some motherfuckers, they go crazy. They start, talking that bullshit and mumble jumble, mumbling to themselves, going crazy, insane, psychotic, that type of shit. I don't handle my isolation like that. I handle my isolation by watching the Titanic, watching Poetic Justice and Tupac. You feel me? What's up with the green? Is it the beer or the pizzas putting pounds on your face? Nah, it's the beer. We gotta leave the beer alone. The pizza is okay. The pizza, you can shake off pizza, man. But the beer is so carby that Yeah, you know, tonight I only had two. Usually I have three, whatever, right? But we switching back over to hard alcohol because I can't put on pounds right now. I'm good. So we're gonna leave that beer alone from here on out. You feel me? It's the beer, bro. Beer was what gets you, bro. And I did work out today, man. I worked out, so you know, I worked out, and I worked out hard. I worked out until I couldn't work out no more, and we're gonna work out tomorrow again. I had two beers. I'm good, but I'm gonna leave that beer alone because I see that it's putting pounds on my goddamn face. Look at my face. It's always swelling up. Look at it, swelling up. Nah, we can't do it no more. Because when I was with the hard alcohol, I could shake it off really quickly, man. You know what I'm saying? I stay lean. I stay, fit. You know what I'm saying? But nah, we ain't doing no more beer. I'm good with the beer, bro. I'm done. I don't want to put on no weight. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, like I said, man. I'm just saying, a lot of you niggas acting like I ain't had a woman in a long time. Like I ain't never had a woman in a long time. Like you acting like Hellcat just a robot. He out here just doing what he gotta do, bro. You know. Don't eat 40 pounds of it like heat. Yeah. Yeah, you can have pizza. That's why I'm gonna leave the alcohol, the beer alone. I'm going back to hard alcohol, guys. I'm putting on the pounds. Yeah, I'm putting on the pounds. Ever since like I've been drinking like beer for like a week and a half now, and I done put on like at least 5 pounds. So yeah, we gotta shake that off. What's up with it, Captain Commander? What's up with it, Green? It's giving me more of a double chin and stuff. No, we ain't fucking with beer. I'm good with beer. I noticed my double chin got bigger. I was like, nah, man, we can't fuck with no beer, bro. Going back to hard alcohol. We'll just drink in moderation. That's about it. You know. Yeah, wine is good. Yeah, wine is good. It's a good substitute for beer. But I'm going back to my vodka, man. That got less calories than beer. Oh, I got less calories. We gotta go in the stove, man, and get some water real quick, though. I've been lonely too, man. Shit, man. I ain't had a woman to lay down next to, bro, for a long time. You know what that does to the human brain? Shit, I'm taking my isolation better than a lot of these niggas out here, bro. I'm taking my isolation better than my isolation better than Heat and Secede, okay? I ain't talking all crazy. I ain't talking like he's talking. You know what I'm saying? You know, what I do, I look at me some Titanic, I look at me some Poetic Justice, and I call it a day. Some tears might come down my eyes or whatever, but then I go to sleep. I wake up, I get on my grind the next day. That's how I deal with my isolation. You know what I'm saying? That's how you do that. What's up with it, Big Pippin? Yeah.
Stay tuned. There's more Inside Edition to come. Attacks. Your birthday's about.
Yeah, it's my last night of beer, bro. I ain't fucking with it no more after this. I know it's strange and unusual. It's strange and unusual. Like, what the hell? You like, what?
Anything else?
That's it, man.
This video showing literally hundreds of penguins taking
984.
a dip in the icy waters of Antarctica. Saw those happy feet
Good, boss.
go as they rushed to take part. Researchers say penguins like to swim in large packs to ward off predators.
Thank
And
you.
finally,
Thank you, man.
Have a nice evening.
Appreciate it, brother.
Easy.
Thank you. Okay, so this is my last night of beer. I got one more beer if you don't mind. Cause this is my last night of drinking beer. I'm not even gonna finish it. I'm not even gonna finish it, bro. Just having a sip. That's about it. You know, you know what, bro? I deal with my isolation a little bit differently from everybody, bro. You feel me? You know, I don't drink a whole lot. My max is 3 beers and I'm good. You know, like I had 2 beers earlier. This is my last beer I just got right now. So I can have a good night's sleep. You feel me? Oh. You know. So I got this beer right here. I don't know what this is. Had it once before. I probably won't drink all of it, but you feel me? Some beer. What kind of beer? It's called Sipophonic or Symphonic Quranic. I don't know what that is. It's an IPA. I'm not gonna finish this beer. I'm just gonna have a couple of sips, man. I'm gonna toss it to the side because I'm not gonna drink a whole lot. You feel me? I got some water. You know, got some water and shit. But like I said, man, I deal with my isolation a little bit differently, man. You know, it's kind of hard to like be isolated and sober. That's the reason why I haven't quit alcohol, man. Because I've been isolated and I need something to take off the isolation. You feel me? But I'm not gonna start talking about bullshit. You feel me? We're gonna have a half of that can. We're gonna toss it to the side. And I'm done. You know, these women walking around here, man, they're like, They acting like they the shit, bro. They're walking around like they shit don't stink, man. If they got curves on their body, bro, they think they the shit, bro. You feel me? If they got titties on them, you know, they got body or something like that. Even if their face is ugly, they still think they the shit, bro. Like this one female, man, I ain't never seen a woman, again, an Asian woman with a body of like she got, bro. Like I was over there, I was getting my food at the Chinese spot. This Asian woman walked in with an hourglass shaped, big old fat ass on her like a black girl, and she thought she was shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? But then, you know, when I looked at her face, I was like, this broad, her face is like a 4. Her face is below mine. You know? But she thought she was a shit. And that's why you can nowadays, man, you can't get a woman, man. Because every female think they're a dime piece out here, man. You feel me? Even if they're average looking, they thinking they're the dime piece and shit. And that's why it's so hard to get an average woman nowadays. Because the average woman thinks she's an 8, 9, or a 10 nowadays. Social media has fucked women's brains up. To the point of no return, too. I blame it on social media, man, for the shit that we in right now, man. The loneliness that a lot of men are facing right now is social media. Because I clearly remember, because I'm an OG, I clearly remember it was a lot easier to get like a woman before social media. You feel what I'm saying? What's up with it?
What's up, bro?
I'm chilling. I clearly remember before social media, it was a lot easier to get a female, man. You see what I'm saying? Now that social media has showed up, bro, it's a lot harder to get a woman. So I noticed the difference. Before social media, it was a lot easier to get an average woman, to get your face match or whatever. Okay? And then after social media got popular, dating apps start taking, effect on society. Then all of a sudden there was a big change. All of a sudden you got women walking around like they 8, 9s, and 10s, but they're really 4, 5s, and 6s, yeah? You feel me? Any woman with curves on her body, bro, that's gonna be hard to get, bro, nowadays. It wasn't like that back before social media. Them women were humble back then. Now because of social media, bro, man, good luck getting laid. You feel what I'm saying? Could it be that you're older and not because of social media? No. It's like, because I can still get women around my looks level, around my age. That's even hard to get. Like, because women, when you look at social media, let's look at life before social media. Okay? Green, how old are you, Green? Ain't you like 32, man? 30 something? You young, so you don't remember, it's not, because the thing is, it's like, I can get the women into the bedroom, but getting them to commit to me, that's a different story. That's my problem. When I was going out, I got women into the bedroom. Late 20s. Okay, so you young. You young, Green. So you don't remember how dating was 20 years ago before social media. Okay, you was like you was like a little kid. You know, okay, you could take 20 years back. 2005. Okay, let's go back to 2005. Back when social media wasn't even popular, or it didn't take off yet, right? Women didn't have no iPhones or nothing, bro. There was none of that shit, bro. Okay? So, whatever the female went to the bar to get, if she found a guy that was decent enough looking, or, you know, you feel me? She would go home with that dude. It was a lot easier to get one night stands. There was no iPhones back then, back in 2005. There was no Facebook. Okay? So, all we had was, back in 2005, we had fish phones from Metro PCS. We had BlackBerry phones. Okay? Technology didn't get that advanced yet. And we had plenty of fish, but it wasn't popular. The dating apps wasn't popular back then. Okay? And back then we didn't have a phone that had a screen on it, like right now. The way I'm looking at you guys right now on the screen, we didn't have that. We had buttons, okay? It didn't allow women to reach out to Chad and Tyrone. Now women have access to Chad and Tyrone. Women have access to like the top 20% of men. You feel me? Women have access to the top 20% of men right now. Back then, bro, they didn't have the access like that, bro. They had to go to the club and find maybe the best guy with the best game. You know, maybe he was 5'9", 5'10", and if his game was on point, he got the panties, bro. If he looked a certain way, he dressed a certain way, he got the panties. Now, because of social media, women got a lot more options. They don't have to settle for what they can get, you know, at the club anymore. You know what I'm saying? Back then, women had to deal with their social circle. Okay? You think like I would have got like Gwen in this time of era? Let's bring, you know, my situation right now. Let's take the situation of me and Gwen and bring it to the future, to right now. I wouldn't have been able to get Gwen, bro. Gwen had everything. She had titties, ass, face. She was about a 7 in looks, bro. You think I would have been able to get Gwen and have sex with her? Hell no. They had dating sites, but they wasn't popular. Tinder and Bumble made like dating sites popular, okay? That swipe left and the swipe right, it didn't exist back then. Didn't exist. You know what I'm saying? All right, man. Back in the day, bro, that didn't exist, bro. You feel what I'm saying? So when you got like dating at a swipe of a screen, when you got dating with the swipe of a screen, okay, it becomes more difficult because women become more picky when they got a lot more options. If social media didn't get advanced, a lot of guys will be getting laid right now. Right now, a lot of guys are locked out of dating. You feel what I'm saying? You know, they had dating sites green, but it wasn't popular. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like when you got like Plenty of Fish and stuff like that, it takes time to gain momentum with like dating sites. Okay, let's say you first, nobody ever heard of a dating site, right? Let's say they release like Plenty of Fish into society. Okay, so then you got like billions of people coming around, you know, slowly, not like, you know, not like fast. I mean, like people are checking out the fucking website slowly. It gains momentum over time. You don't get a bunch of people all of a sudden like, damn, this shit is shit. This shit is shit. Everybody get on this. And then you got 7 billion people just all up on that website. No. After a while, the word of mouth, if it travels. Oh man, you check that Tinder website, bro? Or you check that fucking Plenty of Fish website? Man, I'm doing good on that, man. You should check that out. So then one person tell another person, and then another person tells another person, and after about several years, everybody on that motherfucker. About 7, 8, 9, 10 years go by, the whole entire world is on that motherfucker. Because it kept growing. The popularity, it started getting more popular as the years kept going by. It's like Thailand, nigga. When motherfuckers kept going there promoting Thailand, everybody started jumping on planes and going over there. But it took years for it to get to, it took years for it to gain momentum. You feel what I'm saying? It don't gain momentum overnight. It's just 1 year, bro. So then you get, you know, you get saturated. Shit gets saturated, and everybody on that motherfucker. When Tinder and Bumble came out, it took a year for that shit to blow up. Everybody on that motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? Okay, let's get out of here, man. I'm done with that here. I am going to take another sip, and we're going to pour the rest out, because I'm not going to drink the rest. I just wanted to drink half of that shit. So I talk to you guys real quick. You know what I'm saying? So when you got like dating when you got like dating sites that are in your society, after a while they're gonna become popular because everybody's telling other motherfuckers, check this out. 3 years go by, it get more popular. 4 years go by, it get more popular. 5 years go by, there's more and more people, you know, joining the website, joining the dating apps, more and more until they get momentum. It's like a avalanche, or a fucking, like, you know, a ball of snow coming down from the mountain. After a while, for some reason, we all know what reason that is, the ball of snow start getting bigger coming down from the mountain because it's collecting more snow as it keeps tumbling down the mountain, you know. So you take a ball of this big of snow, you roll it down the mountain of snow, it's gonna get bigger and bigger, and by the time it get down to the bottom of the mountain, it's a huge ass boulder of snow, probably about like 2 stories big and shit. You feel what I'm saying? You know. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta understand, man. After a while, when it became popular, people started, like, a lot of guys started struggling. You know, once the dating apps became more popular throughout the years, you know, was it? I think it was Facebook didn't become popular until like 2 years until it was out, like maybe like a couple of years, man. Everybody was talking about check Facebook out, check Facebook out. But Facebook didn't destroy dating. It was Tinder and Bumble, man. I've been struggling since 2012, and that's when dating. I mean, that's when Tinder had came out. 2012. 2012 was like the Armageddon of dating, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Because they keep on trying to want to make money and shit like that. You feel me? You know, they want to make money. You know, and they want to do this. They want to do that. You feel me? So nah, it's not like what you think it was before. When you don't have an iPhone, and believe me, the iPhones really killed dating. Technology really. Let me tell you something. Technology is really destroying society. They don't know that it is, but right now, technology that because we're creating technology to make life a lot more convenient, right? To try to make dating a lot more easier by just getting up on your phone and you know and looking instead of going out to a bar or a club or going to a community center or a martial arts center to meet somebody. They really fucked up dating when they came out with the iPhone and the dating apps. It really fucked up everything. We believe me, bro. We are causing our own downfall in society, bro. We are destroying the human race slowly but surely. The birth rates has dropped since those dating apps came out, bro. I'm gonna say it again, nigga, because some motherfuckers ain't hearing me, man. Before dating apps, there were a lot more babies being born into the world. Can you understand what I'm saying to you, bro? I mean, can I get a fucking amen? Before the fucking dating apps, there were a lot more babies being born into this world, bro. When the dating app showed up, that's when the fucking, you know, that's when the birth rate dropped. Right now, America is below replacement level. We are in trouble. Right now, the replacement level is at 1.6. We need a 2.0 to sustain society, bro. We are in trouble, and they're not paying attention to that shit, bro. You know, me, I'm all about the future. So when I start seeing that, I'm like, yeah, America is done for if we don't get that 2.0 replacement level. In the future, we won't have a country. We won't have citizens. We're going to be another Japan in the future. America's in trouble. You feel me? America is done for, bro. We need a replacement level of 2.0. Right now, we're below the replacement level. America, it up. You don't have to take my word for it. Get on Google and say, you know, what's the birth rate like? What's the replacement level? They're going to say 1.6. I guarantee it. You don't have to take my word for it. It's there on the internet. Just go ahead and Google that shit. We are, but that means if in the future, if we stay at, let me tell you something. If we stay at low percentage, what am I saying? Low percentage body fat. I don't know why I'm thinking about that. If we stay at a low birth rate, if we stay at 1.6 for like another 100 years, America is done. You can say goodbye to the most rich and powerful country in the world because we won't have a population to sustain society. You need people to be born. We need babies. And the elites, they don't care about that, bro. They care about their money's being, their pockets being fat. They care about making money. They give a damn about family and making babies. They could care less about that. They want their money, they want their pockets to be fat. They want that bag. Probably back then, no access to a computer. Nowadays, everyone has a smartphone. Exactly. That's my point right there. You just made my point, Green. That smartphone really destroyed everything. No mids. Kelcat deserves Miss China. eat the chop suey from the back. You crazy, boy. He funny. Remember, bro, you talking to an OG that was there before technology. I clearly remember it was a lot easier to fall in love and find a woman before technology got more advanced. That's why you got so many incels, because of technology, bro. Back then, before technology, the incels, they was able to find their looks level. You feel what I'm saying? That's why you got so many men who can't find partners, who can't find a girlfriend or a wife because of social media, bro. I'm telling you, social media is to blame for this shit, bro. Trust me when I say this shit, bro. I was there before social media got big, bro. I remember when cell phones didn't have the screen on them, okay? They had buttons, bro. I'm hella old. Our cell phones had buttons on them, bro. We didn't have screens on our cell phones, bro. We couldn't communicate like this back 20 years ago, nigga. Are you kidding me, bro? We couldn't communicate like this 20 years ago. Cell phones they had buttons, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Cell phones had buttons on them, bro. And you had to dial the phone number to fucking, to get in contact with the girl. You had to press the buttons. Doot, 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 doot. And the buttons made noise and shit. Hello? Hey, was Keisha there? Oh, what's up with it, baby? How you doing? Oh, you fine? Okay, cool. What you been up to, girl? I got your number real quick, you know what I'm saying? Earlier and shit. Oh yeah. What you doing? Oh, you watching Wildin' Out? You watching Making the Band? Oh, baby. Oh, cool. So what you like to do for fun? Walk in the park? You like to go to the bar? Oh, that's cool, baby. Shoot. I like to go to the bar myself. Everything was a lot slower. I'm sorry, guys. That's how it was. Everything was a lot slower. You didn't have a bunch of guys in her DMs. There was no such thing as that because, women had to go out to meet guys at bars and clubs. We didn't have no social media back then, bro. It forced women out to the bars and clubs. You feel me? It forced women to go out to find sex. So it was a lot easier to take a woman home. The conversation, look, there was hardly no ghosting because women didn't have no iPhones. How's she gonna ghost you? You her fucking only option of the night. You feel me? Was there ghosting and blocking back in your days, Kelcat? No, there was, but it was less of it. How they gonna ghost you and they don't got an iPhone? Think about life without an iPhone, without like a matter of fact a smartphone. Think about that. When you got buttons on the phone. Okay, well women, they look at their phone, they got buttons on it. Ain't no getting no Tinder or no Bumble to be like, I don't like this guy. I'm gonna ghost him because I got a better option like Chad and Tyrone. They didn't have that option, bro. They didn't have access to Chad and Tyrone back then, bro. They didn't have access to top tier men. So if you was decent looking and you went to the bar or club and you got with a woman, you taking that woman home with you, bro. If she found you attractive. Yeah, they could look. Yeah, they could. Yeah, exactly, Green. They can ignore your phone calls, but when you got a guy that's decent looking, and the woman is horny, she need to get sex right now. You her only option, bro. Yeah, of course that happened back in the day. Getting fake phone numbers and females, ghosting you. But it didn't happen like a lot. It didn't happen a lot. It started happening more when technology kept on getting more advanced. So now females can hop on the phone and get Chad or Tyrone and, you know what I'm saying, and leave you out in the dust. You feel what I'm saying? You feel me? Yeah, it happened, but it happened less. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. Of Green. It happened less. It didn't happen a whole lot. You feel me? The term, let me tell you something. Green. The term ghosting, it didn't start back then before the smartphone was invented. The term ghosting came when the smartphone was invented. We didn't have a term for like when a woman ignores your calls. That term came when the iPhone was invented. When the date apps were invented. You feel what I'm saying? It wasn't like that back in the day. Back in the day, bro, women followed through with your calls, bro. They would call you and shit, man. See, you a youngster. You don't remember how it was before social media was around. Remember, maybe I might seem young at heart, but remember, bro, Green, I'm an OG. But as you can see, I probably act like I'm like your age, like I'm in my 20s, because I feel like I need to be youthful forever. I need to be youthful forever. You feel what I'm saying? So you forget that I'm OG, and I remember how things were before social media showed up. Like a woman, imagine without social media, she get your number. Okay? You feel me? What did they call Chaz and Tyrone's? There was no name for those guys, bro. You know what I'm saying? They started calling Chaz and Tyrone's in the incel community. When things started getting bad in dating, that's when like the Chad and Tyrone term started coming up. When things started getting bad in dating, that's what happened. You feel me? You feel what I'm saying? Okay, we need to not stop drinking this. We're gonna take one more sip and gonna pour it out and get out of here, man. Okay, we pour that out. No more with that. Okay, let's get out of here though. I had enough to drink. But like I said, man, back then, there was no name for Chaz and Tyrone's, bro. Yeah, exactly. It was easier to get sex. It was easier to get companionship before social media. Social media is the cause of all this loneliness that a lot of guys are going through. Because women didn't have a whole lot of options back then. before social media. Remember I told you. Remember I was telling you. Picture your life without social media. Picture your life without a smartphone. Back then, we had buttons, nigga, on your phone, and you had to dial the phone. You had to dial the phone number. Deet, deet, deet. And every time you press a button, remember, it used to make a sound. Hello. Hey, Keisha, what's up? This your boy, Kale. You know, how you doing? Oh, I'm fine. I'm good. How are you? Yeah, I'm good. I finally called you and see what's up, man. You know, I wanted to see how you were. Oh, I'm fine. I'm watching Wildin' Out. I'm watching Making a Band. You know, back in the show, when those shows 2006, 2005, Making a Band. You know, I'm watching Wildin' Out. Oh yeah? Okay, so tell me, Keisha, what you like to do for fun? Oh, I like to go. I like to go to the park. I like to walk my dog. I like to do. Oh yeah, you like to walk your dog. You like to go to the park. Okay, let's meet up at the park real quick. Me and you, baby. Okay, all right. It was that easy, and we would go to the park. You know, you know, we go to the park, we hang out, and we kiss and make out. You know what I'm saying? Because women had less options. Before social media, women were meeting men at a slower rate. Okay, they had to go out. I mean, they had to go out to like bars and clubs and all the other stuff. You feel me? So now you got social media. So now you're competing with the Chads and the Tyrones and the top 20% of the world. So that's what makes dating more competitive now. That they can reach out to top tier men now. Before, top tier men was rare. They would come to bars and clubs, man, but they was very rare. You know, imagine a female only meeting a top tier man only when she goes out. You know, and the top tier man was, you know, they'll reject him really quickly. You know what I'm saying? Because they got options. But now, because of social media, females, they can hit up the top tier men in their DMs now from a distance. Okay? So now that's what it's all fucked up to be, man. That's why it fucked up everything. You know, maybe a drunk Chad or a Tyrone will take her up on her offer or something. You know? And then once they get a taste of Chad or Tyrone, and then they don't want nothing else. So they'll keep swiping left until they get to that Chad or Tyrone that's drunk and horny, that want to have fun just for tonight. The female might be a 6 in looks. You know what I'm saying? So then she'll keep on. Yeah, I deserve top tier men. I deserve. That's how these women are, bro, nowadays. I deserve Chad and Tyrone. I deserve. So then what happens is, so I'm talking about the passport bros. That's one of the reasons why the passport bros came into existence, because women were being very picky. So overseas, it's not as saturated out there overseas. That's why a lot of guys are going over there, because you're not competing with Chad and Tyrone overseas. You feel me? I gotta take a pee right now. Shit. You're not competing with the Chads and the Tyrones of the world over there. You know, you go over there. Women are desperate. You know, they're looking for a man to be by their side and take care of all the bills and stuff. So over there, overseas, what they call it, the ground is more fertile, you know, overseas. You feel what I'm saying? Motherfuckers can, like, go over there and plant crops a lot easier versus here in the West. In the West, you're competing with the Chads and the Tyrones and the top 20% men in the world. You feel what I'm saying? I gotta take a pee. Hold on one second, guys. I'm gonna put this down. I gotta take a racing piss, guys. Ugh. Ugh. So, like I picture this, right? Picture this. Okay, you got a female, right? She's out. She's getting numbers at a slow rate everywhere she goes. Maybe she might have a number from a guy from a street, or a number at a guy from the fitness expo, or a number from a woman, from a woman, a phone number from a man from the gym. Okay, so she got like 4 numbers. So that's basically, you got like, and then she come along and she got your number. So she got 5 numbers. So guess what? You only got to compete with only 5 men. Does it make sense to you? Remember, we had numbers. We had a phone that was like a fish. I had a fish phone, man, back in, when Metro came out with the fish phones. I had those, right? We had buttons. We didn't have no touchscreen. Okay? So then you got like, she had about 5 dudes you had to compete with because, she went out and got those numbers. So you only had to compete with 5 men. Guess what? When technology took off, you had to compete with the whole entire motherfucking world, nigga. When we gotta go up in here and get some chips though, real quick. Cause I got the munchies. You had to go and compete with the whole entire world. The most when there's, like they said, there's too many men to compete with now. That's why guys are having a hard time. That's why Heaton Succeed and Short Ball Guy is having a hard time. Because women got way more options than they had back in the early 2000s and the mid 2000s, nigga. Okay? Like I said, before technology got advanced, we had to write numbers on paper and shit. And get her number, stuff like that. And she might have got a number from a sushi restaurant that she was at, or she got a number at the liquor store. The guy holler, and he got his holler at the liquor store, and you came along. So you only competing with only 4 or 5 guys at that point, because there was no social media. There was no going out there and you know what I'm saying? So the woman back in the day had less options, so she went with the best option that she felt that was the best for her. You feel what I'm saying? Man, I need to get some. There was no Passport Bros back in the early 2000s, bro. They didn't exist because it wasn't that hard to get a woman back then, guys. Stop. Thank you. Have a good night. And that one guy got fired. There's a new guy here. There's a new guy. He don't take no shit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You in Lucas now?
Yeah. Man. Everybody trying to test him and stuff. Take no shit. He's serious. Yeah. You feel me? Man. Have a good night. Imagine, like I said, bro, imagine dating before the iPhone. Okay? Imagine that. Right? You know, women were getting numbers at a slower rate. Like, let's say you were a woman. Let's say let's say okay, you wasn't a woman. Okay, let's change that subject. Let's say let's say there's a woman, right? And back then there was no social media. There was no way in the world they picture life without social media. So women had to go out to bars and clubs to get numbers, or get numbers at the library or something like that. So a female would only have about maybe like 4 or 5 numbers in her phone. You feel me? And and then like she would have to like only choose between the 4 or 5 men that she got on her phone, that she got the numbers from. So then you're competing with only just 4 or 5 men at a time, which is a lot easier, especially if you in shape, you buff. You can do the other men. You could be her best option in that phone that she had with the buttons on it. Because back in the day, man, believe it or not, like I said, man, we had buttons we didn't have no touch screen, bro. We had buttons on the phone. When the phones started getting more popular, like the cell phones, we had buttons, man. We didn't have no touch screen. Okay? No social media to log into. No Facebook. Facebook wasn't even around back then. So everything was a lot slower, meaning that the men that she met was a lot slower, at a slower pace. You feel what I'm saying? When I mean by slower pace, she would only get like 4 or 5 numbers per month or something like that. So you're only dealing with and competing with, 4 or 5 other men, which is not a whole lot to compete with, really. But then social media kicked off, so now you're competing with like thousands of men. Thousands, maybe millions. When social media kicked off, women got options. So you wonder why there's a whole lot of inceldom popping off. Wonder why a lot of like lonely guys out here. You feel what I'm saying? That can't find a girlfriend worth shit. You feel what I'm saying? I felt the pinch after 2012, okay? I felt the pinch. Couldn't get a girlfriend like I used to. And I was younger. Some of you guys say, well, Kelcat, you're older. Does it mean because you can't get a girlfriend now because you're older? Bro, I've been feeling the pinch since I was like 32 years old. When social media started taking off, That's when I started feeling the pinch. So no, it's not because of my age. It's because I got a lot more competition to compete with now. You feel what I'm saying? No, it's not because I'm older now, bro. It's not because of that. It's your competition, bro. Why do you think guys are dating down now? You got a bunch of men out here dating down below their looks level because they can't find their face match now. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm just giving you guys, giving you guys a scoop on how it was before social media. You feel me? Shit. I don't know why this is, whatever. And his family and hers knew it. I don't know what you're saying, Green, bro. But you asked a question, bro, and I fucking answered it. Social media didn't exist back in 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005. Social media wasn't around. For the average man, it was a lot easier. It was. Because you only had to deal with a few men at a time, bro, to compete with. So then when social media popped off, that's when you had to compete with the whole entire world. Remember, you're competing with the whole entire world, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Because women got access to all men nowadays. So when social media popped off, women had a lot more options. Let's put it that way. But I'm about to end this live. I might be back on later. You guys have a good day, man. Shit, I'm gonna read your comments before I go though. Yeah, mail order brides definitely was a thing, but a lot of military guys basically started giving up game. That dating game wasn't bad back. It wasn't bad back then. Exactly. Nobody really took it seriously. Yep. But what I'm saying is because women has a lot more options, therefore they're gonna be picky. Imagine if you had like 1,000 women to choose from, you would be picky as fuck, bro. If all of a sudden somebody just they threw like 1,000 women in front of you, you would be picky. You'd be like, oh no, this one's too short, this one's too this, too that, this one don't make enough money, this one is that, this one is this. But imagine if somebody put only 5 women in front of you, you'll be less picky. Like I said, you got 5 women in front of you, you be like, okay, I only got 5 women to choose from. Okay, I'll go with the taller one because, yeah. And then you'll stick with that tall girl for a long time. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be trying to trade her up for nothing. It's just like women, they met men at a slower rate. Basically, imagine a woman back in 2002, she met like 1 or 2 guys per week, versus now, 2025, women, they meet guys, thousands of guys every single day. Thousands. They meeting thousands of men every single day. So yeah, you're gonna get lost in the sauce. You feel me? You're gonna get lost in the sauce. You're gonna have a hard time keeping a girlfriend because there's so much competition. Even when I was fucking with Thai Girl, bro, Thai Girl is a prime example of what I'm talking about. I met that girl. I'm busting nuts inside the coochie with no condom on. I'm trying to get her pregnant. I'm trying to keep that woman around because it's hard to get sex, right? And somewhere down the line, a super simp with a lot of money came out of nowhere and took her from me like taking candy from a baby. You feel what I'm saying? This embarrassed the shit out of me, man. Could it be that women back then are conservative, not like today? No, bro. There was hoes back then, bro. There was hoes. We called them we didn't call them thoughts back then. We called them tramps and skeezers. You know, back then. But right now, we call women like that thoughts, 304s. Back then, we called them skeezers, tramps. You ever heard of a female with a tramp stamp on the back of her fucking goddamn the lower back of her body? It's called a tramp, or you know what I'm saying, and all the other shit. You know. So no, guy, women had less options back then, so they were less picky. Let me tell you something. I'm about to end this live right now. The more options you have in life, the more picky you become. That's all I gotta say. If you're looking at a poor man, he can't afford to be picky. But a rich man, he can. I remember this one female online. She said, man, these high value men, they drop you like a bad habit. Yeah, because they got plenty of options and they don't have to deal with your bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? So no, guys, don't get it twisted. Women had less options back then before social media. Period. And I pop my pee on purpose. You feel what I'm saying? So you saying, well, man, you having a hard time. Maybe it's just you, bro. Nah, it's social media, bro. Women are only going after the top 20% of men. Don't you ever forget that. Don't you forget that in your ever-loving mind that these women are not checking for the top 20% of men. I got sub-5 women all the time hitting on me all the time. All the time. And they below my looks level, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Women are always trying to, you know, always trying to do better. Losers can't be choosers. Yeah, exactly. You know? But nowadays, women are winning. Yeah, women are winning because they have a whole lot of options. Basically, men, you know what I'm saying? Even if you a guy that's making $100,000, you're still gonna struggle. You're a guy who's making $300,000 a year, you're still gonna struggle. Cause I remember I was doing Uber, and this guy was still getting ghosted. I feel sorry for him, man, because I picked him up. And I ain't really told nobody this, but it was embarrassing. You know, he got inside the Uber, and we was talking about dating and shit like that. And he said, man, I got my shit together, and I'm still getting ghosted. I'm like, what do you do, bro? He's like, I'm a doctor. I'm like, damn, really? As I say, man, he's a doctor, and he's still getting ghosted like that? But you could look at him, you could tell that he was like maybe like a 4 in looks. He was sub-5. He was still struggling. And this is back when I was doing Uber in 2016 and shit, in 2017. You know, he was still getting ghosted. He was like, I got my shit together. I got my shit together, and I'm still getting ghosted. Man, that's crazy. But anyway, I'm gonna end this live. What's up with the worldwide levels, baby, baby? We got worldwide levels in this motherfucker. What's up with it, baby? What's up with the worldwide levels? You know what I'm saying? You know. So money can't buy the coochie. It's maybe because his game was off point. I'm pretty sure he's still not struggling. You know, women got a lot of options. They got a lot of doctors out there. You feel what I'm saying? So they probably going with the best looking doctor they can find. You know what I'm saying? Women are all about looks. You feel me? You know, he probably not making enough for how he look. You know what I'm saying? You know, he needs status. You know, sometimes a nigga need money and status, not just money, but he needs status too. The combination of the two, it makes you an unstoppable force in the dating world, bro. You know. Anyway, it is time for me to end this live, guys. I'm at 70%. I'm gonna look at my Titanic, and I'm gonna go to sleep, just like I usually do. You guys have a good night, man. I'm out, man. They what? Yeah, it's Titanic time. Yeah, what's up with it? They said it started with the pill. When the pill came out. What? Women began to get choosy and didn't marry whoever that. No, it all started with social media. Don't get it twisted. You know, don't think that something else started the shit, bro. Like Captain Commander, it all started with social media. Remember, Captain Commander, I think you older than me. Remember how dating was a lot easier before social media came out. Try to remember. Just think back to 2002. 2003. Remember how easy it was to get a girlfriend and to get sex before social media. Because women had a lot more options. We had just phone back there. We didn't have a touch screen. We didn't have social media that we could log on to just like that. Try to remember how it was. And it has nothing to do with age. So, okay, you got older, bro. Maybe because you old now. Nah, it didn't matter, bro. It was the fact that I was younger, when I started to struggle. I was 33 years old. And I was having a hard time getting a woman back then. And I was a lot younger. Matter of fact, like 10 year plus younger. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm 32 struggling, and I looked better back then. I had a full hairline and everything. I wasn't struggling with the hair or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Back then when I was 32, 33. And I was still getting laid, but I wasn't getting a committed relationship with a woman, bro, back then. I was struggling with that. That's why I went back to my ex-girlfriend in 2015, and I moved in with her because I couldn't find any other options. So I fucking moved in with my ex-girlfriend again. And we stayed together for like 2 years, and we called it quits. And I thought I was gonna find me a brand new girlfriend like right away. Man, I was wrong. It never did happen. That's how bad it was. Me and my ex-girlfriend, we fell in love back in 2006. This is before social media started to take off. Matter of fact, Facebook started kicking in the door back then. Facebook started getting busy and popular around 2006 and 7. See what I'm saying? This is the big. And I met her in the beginning of social media, and we fell in love together. And you mean to tell me that since then, I haven't been able to find a love or a girlfriend, especially after 2012, okay? So that says something right there, bro, that I haven't found a love since 2006, when me and my girlfriend first hooked up. Remember, social media wasn't as advanced as it is right now. Tinder and Bumble didn't exist, okay? Me and my girlfriend fell in love. And I haven't fell in love with another woman since. That show you something right there, bro. Right there. Right there. You know what I'm saying? That shows you something right there, that social media is the problem for a lot of loneliness that's happening in this world with a lot of men. Social media is the blame for all this shit, bro. But I gotta go. You guys have a good night. We got nothing. We can't control that. We can't control the loneliness. We can't just jump into a relationship, like that. I can't just walk up into a female and be like, bitch, you wanna be my woman? Fuck that shit, bitch. Be my woman, bitch. Be my woman. You can't just strong arm your way into a relationship. You feel what I'm saying? But I gotta go. You guys have a good night. I'm out. I'll see y'all tomorrow when I wake up. Peace out, take care, and bless. I am out.